Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? How is everybody's holidays? Hopefully, some of you guys got some time off and all of those fun things. Hi, everyone. Hi, Alicia. Happy Book Club Day. Hi, MB. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, hello. Gary! Yes, Happy New Year. Trying to explain the what Happy New Year is to my 5-year-old today. It was very, very difficult. He goes, "I don't understand." And I was like, "It's a new year after tomorrow." And he's like, "So why are we having friends come over?" I was like, "Because we celebrate bringing in the new year." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Just be super, super happy that you get to have a friend over and hang out and have fun." Does anybody have any big plans for New Year's? I'm pretty excited because we've invited over a couple friend and my sister, and we are doing like a whole bunch of appetizers, and then they're bringing brisket and some dessert, and then I'm going to do DM a Christmas themed Dungeons and Dragons like DM like playthrough. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hi, Helen. Yay! So happy that you're here. Oh, I'm so excited. But tell me, did anybody get anything particularly bookish or something cozy and fun for the holidays? That sounds like fun. I'm so excited. Nervous, but also very, very excited as well. Hold on, I guess I didn't realize that I mirrored camera. Let's see, mirror my camera. Oh, I don't know how I like that. But you know what? At least now you can read my cup. It says what happens at book club stays at book club. I rearranged my whole entire office. If you can't tell, I'm in a different location. I'm where my chair used to be. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so let's jump into Dachshund Through the Snow by Rosie A. Point. This is the first in a very murder Christmas. And this is the setup. So while I'm reading the setup, I'd love it if you could give me your Cleo Penelope rating, your Black Cat rating, or star rating, whichever one you prefer. But it says it's going to be a very murder Christmas. Holly loves the small town life in Full Fork, New York, especially since she gets to spend most of her time walking the adorable dogs of the town's elite or hanging out at her best friend's pet cafe. And the first day of Christmas is no exception to the routine until she arrives at her first client's home to pick up an adorable Dachshund named Dixie and finds a corpse instead. The owner has been murdered. And as the last person who saw her, Holly's got a bright red target on her back. She's got to figure out who done it before Christmas is ruined. Let's see. Gary, a book of brain games and mysteries under your tree. That is fantastic. I got a lot of cozy stuff too. I got a puzzle board and 2 really, really cool puzzles. And I also got a lot of cozy Switch games because my sister got me a Switch for Christmas, and it was very, very, very cool of her. Hi. Okay, so we've got 3 Penelopes. Love the cover. Yeah, this cover is amazing. Oh my goodness, like this cover, love it. 3 stars, 3-ish for me. So I gave it a 2-star. Oh look, there's Penelope. What's she doing? What's she doing? Oh yeah. Did you just have your late night dinner? And so I gave it a 2 stars, though it was a very, very quick read, especially because the paperback is only available in large print. So that was really, really nice. And I felt very, very satisfied in being able to finish it in like less than 1 day. That made me feel very, very I don't know, like accomplished. But let's start with one of Gary's amazing questions. Helen gave it a 3.5 stars, and we've got a 3. And hi, Kathy. Okay, so in her opening Dear Diary, what does Holly mean when she writes that instead of a white Christmas, she got a red one? That's something that I thought was really interesting. Yeah, so she said, where does she say it? In the Dear Diary. I could never have predicted the craziness of the past week. It was supposed to be a white Christmas, a fun Christmas. And then she says, instead of a white Christmas, I got a red one. And I was like, because the owner of the puppy, she was poisoned. So there wasn't any blood in her demise, if you will. Kathy gave it a 4 Penelopes. So very, very, very interesting. I do want to say that I liked the idea that this was written in diary form. I am a huge fan of epistolary books. Like right now, I am reading Janice Hallett's newest book. I think it's like The Fatal Question or something, or The Killer Question. So I'm currently reading that. So I really love epistolary, told through like letters, emails, text messages. I really, really like those types of books. One, because I think that it's really interesting for an author to be able to really give a plot and lay down characters and understanding of characters without having all of the filler words or the descriptive words or things of that nature. And so I think that it's really, really tough to be able to do well. So I do really like those types of mysteries. But what about you guys? Do you guys like the Dear Diary element? And she doesn't do it every chapter. From what I remember, it's like scattered throughout, which I thought was interesting. Especially when she was writing her suspects in her diary. I thought that was a nice way, especially for people who aren't, who do not easily keep up with mysteries, murder mysteries, when they're trying to figure out what happened, who are the suspects, who are those kinds of things. It can be really hard for someone sometimes to really focus in on those things and then not get lost or confused. So I liked that element of it. I really liked the diary thing. It saved space. I think it made it possible to keep the book short, and it was a good recap of suspects. Yeah. I like the epistolary element because I think but I like epistolary stories in general. Yes, epistolary. I love them as well. They're just so good. The whole town thought she committed the crime. She felt like a target, which I thought was really, really interesting. Like how much the town turned against her when it came to the murder. So, our main character, Holly, has moved back to town. So you would think that she would be like a town sweetheart, right? Like that they wouldn't automatically have felt like, oh, she's a stranger, so she's the bad guy. But I can feel I don't know, I felt like maybe that was a little bit too much when it came to, making her feel like the target. Um, I feel like it could have been pulled back a little bit. I thought the town turning on her was a little overdone. Yeah, like, whenever she would, like, walk into a shop or something, and the shop was, like, all of a sudden turning quiet or like whispering behind their hands or those types of things. I thought that that was a little bit overdone. And I feel like they could have, or I feel like Rosie could have maybe softened that or found a different way to show that. Um, and I find it interesting in the description where it's like, she gets to spend her most of her time walking the adorable dogs of the town's elite, whereas in this book she's only walked one dog and didn't even walk them, just like went into the house, right? And then her other customer that she did have lined up, she ended up canceling on her because he thought that she could be the killer. So I feel like in the description of the book, it was sort of set up as though she was already a successful small business owner, not she's struggling with what she's doing. Yeah, it wasn't even like she was brand new to town. It was a little weird that literally everybody had thought she'd done it. Yes, especially with like her best friend owning the pet cafe shop and being, I mean, like a touchstone for me, the way that I read it. It read as though she was a touchstone of the community and how she was behind Holly and saying, like, no, she could not have done it. This could not have happened. Instead, they almost like didn't believe her anymore. I thought that that was an interesting way to write it. But then I can also see how, since the book was so short, being able to show that Holly was a real suspect or something along those lines, like they had to sort of up it a little more. Hi, Renee. How are you? Also strange how resistant she was to working with her BFF. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, if she says that she needs you and she says that she can help, and you are like, how much business are you going to get with the elite of the town, right? If you're working in your best friend's like cafe that has animals in it, you could get more customers for your upcoming business. I didn't get the sheriff character. Sometimes he was like a clown and not likable, but other times maybe a love interest. He was all over, 100% all over. And I couldn't really keep up with, like, he wasn't really a part of the story either. Now, granted, that might be because this is such a short book that they really couldn't like add more to it. But I thought that it was interesting that he wasn't really there, and then like he was a bully, and then he wasn't a, like, I'm just very confused. Right, like if you are essentially unemployed and you're offered a job, wouldn't you take the job, especially to make ends meet and to be able to like make your business um more viable while you're waiting for business to pick up, you know? I thought that that was interesting. And I know that sometimes, I mean, a lot of times when reading cozy mysteries, you have to suspend your disbelief for a lot of things. Amateur sleuths, the way that the local, like the Leos, the law enforcement officers are and things. But I feel like it was a little bit out of
open Nick's room door.
it was a little bit out of character. Back to Gary's next question is, what typical Dachshund, I'm never going to say that right. I want to say Dachshund, but I know that that's not how you say it. Dachshund traits does Dixie bring to solving the crime? And this is a very good question, but I don't know any Dachshund like I don't know any Dachshund traits because I've never been around a Dachshund. But from Google, they will bark to alert you to any changes in their environment. and it looks like they're bred to be hunt badgers, but I like Gary's more. I'm a Dachshund pet parent. My Daisy is very nosy and clever. She would definitely sniff a purse and knock it over. We say Dotson, Dotson. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can totally see that. Yeah, when she knocked over the purse of her owner's ex-assistant, I thought that that was pretty funny. I did like the fact that they kind of that it gave Holly a legitimate reason to sort of be a little bit more nosy into the book and like the black book. I also kind of want to know what was more in the black book. I feel like there could have been a lot more in this. I feel like it would have been better. I would have given it a better rating had there been more to pull from. I liked the way the dog was kind of involved in finding clues. It was a nice way to incorporate a pet without it talking. Yes, I did like that a lot, and I never felt like she was in danger. I never felt like Dixie was going to be hurt in this at all. Yes, it all felt rushed. All I knew about the breed was the movie The Ugly Dotson, classic Disney. Oh, I haven't seen that movie. I remember there being a Dotson. I keep having to look at how Gary told me to say it. A Dotson. When in I think it was, oh my goodness, The Aristocrats. I think there was one in the Pound, maybe? Am I right? I'm not quite sure. Okay. So we have our victim who ends up being sort of like almost like a Corella DeVille of the town, right? She's trying to buy up the property next to the bakery. She doesn't seem to be a very likable person. No one really seems to like her. And then we find that she could be, or she might be in a relationship. She might not be in a relationship. There were a lot of like crazy kind of antics going on. There were so many weird choices in this book. Why didn't she give the dog to her mom in the beginning or live with her mom? Agreed, right? The way that I think that the author kind of like twisted that was that she didn't want to seem more than a failure than she already was in her mother's eyes because she chose the wrong guy, and she wanted to prove to her hometown, that she could do this on her own, that she didn't need someone else to do it for her. But I still don't feel like that was the smart thing. I think that, am I mistaken, or is she in her 20s in this book? I can't remember if she is in her 20s or maybe early 30s. I feel like if she's in her early 30s, she should know better. If she's in her early 20s, we can like give her the benefit of the doubt for just not knowing what she should have done, you know? Holly is 27. So she's like right in that middle ground, but she's still a babe. Like 27-year-old Courtney was still a baby. Who has a 9 a.m. meeting in Italian restaurant? Is this in Vegas? Just weird, right? Because even here in Oklahoma, restaurants don't open until 11 unless it is a breakfast joint. But other than that, like there's no way I'm getting Mexican food, Italian food, steak. Like I'm not getting anything before 11 where I live. I'm usually pretty critical, but I bought into all of this stuff, lol. I think I just wanted a short Christmassy cozy. Yes. Agreed. This is perfect for like a short and sweet cozy. It's one of the reasons why I chose it for being our Christmas cozy for the month. I think that I had just read so many good Christmas, like, cozy romances. Like, I read the 2 from Ellie Alexander, and I mean, I read a lot of Christmas, themed books this year that I had, like, a higher bar of Christmas, and I wanted to feel as though Christmas threw up on me, and I didn't really feel like Christmas was really a thing in this one. Um that 9 a.m. thing was super weird, and she ordered pasta, I think. Oh, carb-free garlic bread. Whenever the waiter was like, "There's no such thing as that," I did cackle. I did. Uh, Honestly, that was so weird to me. A 9 a.m. meeting in a place that doesn't serve breakfast and ordering garlic bread at 9 a.m. Who wants garlic bread at 9 a.m.? True story. Who wants their breath to smell like that for the remainder of the day? Yeah, it was not breakfast. It was, like, something just totally weird. But then that made me super suspicious of her because then I'm like, "Why did she choose this exact place?" And then that's when you know you've read too many mysteries because then everything is suspect and there's nothing you can do about you're just very, very suspected. No, suspicious. Jeez Louise, guys. Suspicious of everyone else. The waiter was funny. Carb-free garlic bread isn't a thing. I could just see him being so sassy in, like, all black with, like, a white, towel on his shoulder and his arm on his hip. Love it. Love it. Okay. So, as we started diving deeper, Harold was someone that we thought, Mrs. Richardson was having a business, sort of like buying that spot next to the bakery, right? And then there were other people who were speculating that Miss Richardson had a love affair or like an affair going on with a younger man, which was Matthew. And so Harold's jealousy drove him to poison the cookies. Despite P.I. Matthews' denial, did you think that Matthew and Mrs. Richardson had more than a professional relationship? So I don't think I think that guy, her business partner, I think that he had a thing for her, but she was using him and she led him to believe that there might be an actual thing between them, but there really wasn't. Um, and so I feel like it felt to me very one-sided. Like it was not going to be actually a thing. And you don't really in the end you don't really know because all you know is his side of the story because she's dead. And so you're just kind of like I don't know. I also just don't think that P.I. Matthew uh, did much, or maybe he was doing a lot more, and I just don't remember. But she didn't have a lot of interactions. Yeah, I don't trust that Matthew guy. It's like he turned in Harold. Yes, agreed. Okay. What was your so one, I want to know, how did you guys read the book? Did you guys read it physically or did you read it on ebook? I don't think that there was an audiobook for this one. But what was your impression of the large print format of the paperback edition? Did the book's formalities like salutations, 6 p.m. timestamps, and diary writing appear designed for younger readers? I feel like I know we talked a little bit about like the diary format, but I also did some more research on Rosie A. Point, and she was born and raised in South Africa. And all of her books are set in the United States, in small towns in the United States. So I'm wondering if she learned English as, I guess, as a second language. And that's why there's so like why there's a lot of like formalities and like salutations and timestamps and like and different things like that. Because I don't read a lot of cozies that go like the following morning, or I mean, there was a lot of that evening. I didn't I'm not quite sure. Oh, Hoopla has the audio. It was 2 hours. I felt like I missed a lot when it's this short. Yeah. Tandem, there was audio. They didn't match. Lots of differences. Really, Alicia? Loved large print. Yeah, the large print made me feel like I was, I don't know, like the speediest reader ever. I felt like I just sat down and inhaled the book. Um, I did, I wish I would have known. I did not look that hard. If I'm being honest, I did not look that hard for an audiobook. But it was kind of nice that I had to force myself to actually like slow down, sit down and read. Did you shed a tear of sorrow when Dixie was taken from Holly and a tear of joy when they were reunited at the end of the book? I think that that was the only part in the book that I was actually emotionally invested. Like I was mad when they took Dixie from Holly. I was like, how dare you? Who do you think you are? It was that like there's just animals and kids, right? Like they have my whole entire heart and nothing is going to change that. And so if there is an injustice served to either of those like groups of individuals, I'm going to be pissed. I am going to be so mad. When he like took her, I was like, no, this is ridiculous. You don't even want the dog. Give her back. I was so mad. And then whenever he brought her back and he was like, she eats everything. She just, yada, yada, yada. I was like, yeah, because dogs know who are good people and who aren't good people. Okay. They just do. I was so mad. Yes, I was so happy when Dixie came back. He was a big jerk about it too. He was. Yes, I loved Dixie. I wanted to skip to the end to see if she got her back. I knew that ending was inevitable. Dixie was written with so much personality. I knew she was a keeper for the series. Yes, agreed. Dixie was the best part, and I hated that she was taken away, especially when he didn't even want the dog. Yeah, and then he was like, in the end, he's like, I will give you a stipend for taking care of the dog. And I'm like, part of me was kind of like, since Mrs. Richardson only really loved the dog, I feel like her whole entire estate should go to Dixie. No one else deserves a cent of Miss Richardson's dime, and there should be like a trust fund or something set up in Dixie's name. Yeah, that's how I feel about that, because I just don't feel like they earned it. Like anything that Miss Richardson had in her banks should have gone all to Dixie. Agreed. It should all have gone to Dixie. Thank you. I was like sitting there whenever he was like, I'll give you a small stipend. I'm like, the heck you will. No, you're going to give it all. You're going to give every last stinking penny. Every last stinking penny. Okay. So, the 4 of the book club pick for January. I have a question for the group, because I did post I posted the 2026, where is it? No, go away. I posted the 2026 themes, and January is new beginnings. And I was wondering what you all would think about reading Deadly Drafts by me for book club for January. It is free on Kindle Unlimited right now. So you can get it through Kindle Unlimited. It's also at every darn library. If you really can't, if you can't afford to get this book, message me separately and I will send you an ebook copy. I'd just really like to share this world, and I think that it would be cool if I could talk to you guys about it, and then you guys could actually tell me the
at the front door,
like what you guys really think about it. I'm gonna put it in for voting on this, and if the majority of it is no, which you will not hurt my feelers. But if the majority of it is no, then I will record a video for 3 picks for January for New Beginnings. But this is a New Beginnings book. And it's set in winter. So perfect for this time period. But I will read you the setup. And then again, I will put the poll on there. And then you guys can go and vote, of course. Welcome to Literary Stitches, where books, crafts, and murder go hand in hand. Adelaide Addie Doyle thought she left small-town life behind for good. But when heartbreak and family duty pull her back to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, she finds herself stitching together a new chapter, one filled with second chances, small-town charm, and unfortunately, murder. When Addie's former best friend and worst enemy turns up dead just before her wedding, Addie and her sister Winnie become the prime suspects. With a Mont Blanc pen as the murder weapon and the town's rumor mill working overtime, Addie has no choice but to clear their names before they land in an orange jumpsuit. Armed with her writer's intuition, a knack for uncovering secrets, and a little help from her quirky inner circle, Addie dives into the mystery because in Broken Arrow, stories don't just stay on the page. So, yeah. I'm hoping that we can read this fun book. I am also hoping that rereading it myself will get me skip hopping to the keyboard and finishing up book 2, which I'm super, super excited about. I'm very, very, very fun. Very, 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 very happy about it. Okay. Dropping in real quick while I'm at a gathering. Thought it was cute. Christmas of Cozy. Gonna read more by this author. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Ivy. Okay, so yes, I will read it. Yes, I have it, but I haven't read it yet. And I was planning on a January read of it anyway. Yay! Yes. Have you read it since you beta read it? Because it got better. Great idea to have a book chat with the author. Yes, Deadly Drafts for January. Perfect January pick. I have it, but haven't read it yet. So I say yes for January. I'd love to reread. Yay. Well, I will officially put it in the Patreon, but I'm very, very excited to chat with you guys again. And I on this year, I actually, for our post, I already pre-put in all of the dates for next year's book club's picks as well. So we will be meeting on January 28th and doing that there. I'm very, very excited. I hope you guys have an amazing new year, and I will talk with you all in the comments and, all of those things. One of my goals for 2026 is to get back to being able to record videos with my new setup that I just put together. Look at that right there. Oh, it's so cozy. I'm hoping that I will be motivated. Not necessarily, it's not that I'm not motivated. I will be able to make some more time to create more content and all of that stuff. But good night, everyone. Have a happy new year, and I will see you in 2026. Bye, guys.